Hello, today we are going to be making the Traveling Sewing Kit, featuring Fleet and Flourish fabric collection designed by Maureen Cracknell. We will be learning to apply a zipper with tabs and how to sew with the walking foot. The Traveling Sewing Kit is a fun and cute way to store your sewing items that you like to take on the go. Here's what you'll need to get started. Take a 4.5 by 16 inch strip from fabric I and iron fusible to the wrong side of the fabric, on the edge of your strip. Next, fold each side of your strip into the center so raw edges meet, and then fold in half and press flat. To make sewing easier when I'm working with thicker fabrics and fusible fleece, I like to use the walking foot. Insert the foot sideways right behind the needle, placing the fork over the needle clamp and the shank under the positioning cone, attached by securing the clamp lever. Top stitch each side of your strap at 1/4 inch. Move needle position all the way to the left and set your stitch length to 4. Place right inside edge of walking foot against the edge of your strap. Next, cut strap in half and you have now created the 2 loops for your sewing kit. Take 2 3.5 squares from fabric H and iron a 3-inch piece fusible to one of the squares on the wrong side of the fabric. Place both squares right sides together and sew all the way around your piece at 1/4 inch, leaving a small unsewn portion to pull right side of the fabric through. Pull right side of the fabric through and tuck under unsewn portion and press square flat. Top stitch around your square as close to the edge as possible. Repeat this same process for the other 3.5 squares from fabric H and G. Sew 2 4 3/4 by 7.5 inch rectangles from fabric C. Press and top stitch seam at 1/2 inch. Take a 4 3/4 inch by 10.5 rectangle from fabric E and place pocket on top and pin in place. Take your 4 3/4 inch by 10.5 rectangle from fabric B and sew pieces together. Attach your zipper foot to your machine, foot number 4. To be able to sew with your zipper foot, push the Home button. Use the arrow keys to get to the Creative Consultant button. Press OK. Select the icon for lightweight woven fabrics and press OK. Use the arrow keys to select the zipper function. Press OK and now your machine is programmed with the proper settings to sew your zipper. Take a 1 1/4 by 3.5 inch strip from fabric F. Fold ends to the center of your strip and then fold in half. Sandwich zipper ends inside zipper tab and sew as close to the edge as possible. Repeat this same process for the other 1 1/4 inch by 3.5 inch strip from fabric F and sew to the other end of your zipper. Take a 5 inch by 10.5 inch rectangle from fabric F and place zipper facing down on the right side of the fabric. Place another 5 inch by 10.5 inch rectangle on top. Pin pieces together and stitch right up against the zipper. Make sure to open zipper halfway. As you're stitching right against the zipper, when you get to the zipper pull with the needle in the down position, lift presser foot and zip zipper shut. Now you are able to keep sewing to the end of your piece. Press seam allowance away from the zipper and edge stitch as close to the edge to stitch down the seam allowance. This will help to keep the lining down and out of the way of the zipper when unzipping or zipping your zipper. Next, take a 5 inch by 10.5 inch rectangle from fabric F. Place zipper piece on top of the rectangle and then place another rectangle on top. Repeat the same process to sew the other side of your zipper. Next, create the other zipper pocket with your other 9-inch zipper and pieces from fabric D. the same way we created the zipper pocket with fabric F. Take your pencil pocket piece and a 9" by 10.5" rectangle from fabric B and sew together at 1/4 inch. Fuse woven fusible cotton interfacing on the back of your piece. Next, fuse a piece of fusible fleece. Sew 1/4 inch from each side seam. Next, to create the dividers for your pencil pocket, stitch about 1 inch width lines, using your seam guide by lining it up with the 1 inch mark. To attach your pin patches, pin them into place and stitch around each square to secure them to your sewing kit. Next, take both zipper pockets and pin together. Place them at the bottom of your piece. Sew each side at 1/4 inch to secure pockets into place. Next, take your loops and pin them 3.5 inches in from each side. Take your 11-inch long suede cording and pin them 4 inches down from each side. Stitch down loops in suede cording to secure to sewing kit. Sew together two 9" by 10.5" rectangles from fabric A. Place right sides together, making sure to match up seams, and sew all the way around your piece at 1/2 inch, leaving a small unsewn portion to flip piece through. Clip corners at seam allowance to help get nice pointy corners. Flip your piece through the unsewn portion and press flat. Hand stitch unsewn portion closed. I hope you enjoyed making the traveling sewing kit featuring Fleet and Flourish fabric collection designed by Maureen Cracknell. It is a perfect size to take all of your sewing essentials with you on the go. Stay tuned for more projects from AGF, which can all be found on the Bernina website at weallsew.com.